This is going to be a really long story, so keep me as your background video while you do what you gotta do. I'm going to be vulnerable with you guys and tell you where I was last year on this day. I was living with my boyfriend of 5 years at the time in an apartment that we chose together. We were long distance for 4 years. So he lived in Florida and I lived in Texas. So we finally moved in together. It was 4 months of us moving in together. And I had found out he was cheating on me. I went through the back instead of going through the front so I can surprise him. And when I snuck up behind him, he had his phone laying out and it was open on Instagram. I peeped over and I seen that he was texting somebody and he pulled his phone away from me. He moved across the states for us to live together in an apartment. So I never thought that cheating was even gonna be a thing. So when I confronted him about why he snatched the phone away from me, he told me that there was no reason for me to look at his phone. So now I was even more suspicious and I was like, let me see the phone. Why did you snatch that from me? And then he finally admitted that he was texting his ex from Florida. Mind you, this is my fault. Okay, don't call me a loser, but I am kind of a loser. He had cheated on me with her in the past when he was living in Florida, and I did not think it was going to be another issue. Stupid ass me, I know. She's also a shitty ass person because when I confronted her about it and I was like, hey, what's going on? I had no idea about you. She said the same thing. She's like, I didn't know anything about you. And she was all sad because she was in a relationship with my boyfriend and I had no idea about it and she had no idea about me. And then several weeks later I had more questions for her and then she did a whole switch on me and was telling me, girl, you're so stupid for staying with him. He's gonna cheat on you again with me. He loves me. Which of course I should have just fucking believed her and just let her keep him because they're both fucking losers. But I was so fucking heartbroken. I mean, we were living together for 4 months. We've been in a relationship for 5 years. I couldn't just fucking let that go. But she continued to taunt me for months because she changed her Instagram bio to whatever his bio was. She put his name and her username. And I would question him about it and he'd be like, I literally don't know. This girl's crazy. This is also another reason I did not suspect him texting her because I had a feeling he was being mad sketch. So while he was sleeping, I would go through his phone because I knew his password and I didn't find anything. So whatever, I ended up being like, why the fuck are you texting her? And he said, I'm just telling her how much I don't like it here in Texas. So that made me feel like you are basically making fun of me because you're talking to the girl that literally taunts me. And I drive home, I'm speeding home. I leave his ass at work and I'm speeding home because I was gonna go fucking break all of his shit. His pride possession is his PS5 and I literally was gonna throw that shit off the 3rd floor. I was so fucking ready. As I'm speeding home, I'm calling everybody I know and every single person's telling me not to do it. They're telling me just fucking leave him. Don't ask me why, but I continue to stay with this dumb ass bitch. I can go into more details about this, but anyway, so we stayed together. I told him to not fucking text her anymore, and I don't know if he did continue to text her or not, but I was not trusting him whatsoever. He told me he fucked up. He said he was sorry, and he told me that he knows I don't have any trust for him anymore. He was like, anytime you want to look at my phone, just tell me, I will give you my phone. So the next month or two, that's how it was. Our relationship was really rocky because I did not trust him, but he was living his life and being so fucking happy while I was literally overthinking the hell out of everything. He was no longer allowed to work with me because of the situation, so at this point he had no fucking job. And his lazy ass, I know I was paying for the fucking apartment, he never helped with rent. That's not the point about this. So I got him, I'm the one that set up the fucking interview for him, a job at Home Depot. Home Depot is literally across the street from us, so he could literally drive there and it would take him 2 minutes. 3 weeks into this stupid ass idiot working at this job, I found out he was cheating on me. He's a serial fucking cheater. He's so fucking easy. You want to know how I found out about this girl? So first of all, I had a couple dreams that he was gonna cheat on me. So I started a new job and one of those days that I was working was an overnight. I had a dream that he was gonna cheat on me on a day that I had to work an overnight, but that's besides the point. He comes home when I'm getting ready to leave to work. He kisses me goodbye, he tells me he'll miss me and he'll be at home waiting for me. Cute shit. I don't know if this idiot thought that I would not see his location. I wasn't even watching his location. He texted me in while I was at work. When I went to go respond, the top location thing said that he was in a city that he had no business being in. Like I said, he moved from Florida. He doesn't know anybody here. Why? He had been working at Home Depot for 3 weeks. Like, who would he have like friends with to like go to a different city with? And he never told me like he made friends or anything like that. I'm like, what is he doing in this city? I click it and he's at the movie theater. Oh my god, I'm like blowing up his phone. I'm blowing up his phone. No response, because mind you, he didn't even tell me he was going somewhere. And not that he had to, but that's, like if we live together, it'd be like, hey, I'm gonna go so and so, like. And we had a Ring camera on the door that me and him both had notifications on. And I was like, I never got a notification that he left. So like, what? I call his mom and I'm like, hey, have you heard from him? I don't know like where he's at. Like, it shows that he's at the movie theaters, and I'm getting a bad like vibe. In his last text message that he sent to me, he said that he was gonna be playing Fortnite. So I texted one of his family members and I was like, hey, are you on Fortnite with him? Because they would play Fortnite together. And then his family member tells me, no, he's not even online. Oh, I'm telling you, my suspicions were to the roof. Me and his mom get along so well, so I don't know why she also switched on me, because she was like, oh my god, can you relax? Like, you always think he's doing something weird, and he's always doing something sketchy, or he's cheating on you. Can you relax? He probably just went to the movies. Ma'am, he's cheated on me multiple times before, and she knew about that. So I'm still blowing up his phone, giving him calls and texting him, and no response. All of a sudden, I see his little location speeding home, but he's still not answering any of my calls. I'm like freaking out. I'm at work. I'm like, bro, I cannot, like, please tell me, God, like, he's not cheating on me again. I see his little location. He's pulling up into the parking lot of our apartment. I turn on my Ring camera and I see this fool running from his car up the stairs, sprinting as fast as he can, and he runs in the door. I call him again and he finally answers. I'm like, hello? Where have you been? Why have you not been answering me? He's like, what are you talking about? I've been home all day. Like, I was on the game. I swear to y'all, I cannot lie. I swear on my life, this is what happened. We were going back and forth because I'm like, bro, stop lying to me. Like, please, when is it gonna end? Like, I'm not dumb. I watched you on the cameras. He finally admits he was on a date with a girl that he met at work. So what I found out about this girl is he started working there. 1 week later, he found interest in this girl. Mind you, he admitted this to me. He found interest in her, asked her for her number, and they started texting. I was like, did she know about me? And he said, no. I told him, give me her phone number. I'm going to text her. He was like, I'm not going to give you her number. I said, if you don't give me her number, I'm going to go to Home Depot and I'm going to make a scene and find her myself. So he finally gives me her phone number. I text her and I tell her like, hey, my name is this and that. I've been with him. Like, I tell her like everything. She was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I had no idea about you. He came to me. Like, he told me he was single. He told me that he moved here from Florida to start over in life. She sends me screenshots of their text messages. And in the messages, he had texted her, do you have a boyfriend? And she was like, no. Do you have a girlfriend? And he was like, no. He said, no, I don't have a girlfriend because all girls do is break my heart. The exchange where I told him, give me her phone number or I'm gonna make a scene, he texted her. And he's like, hey, I forgot to tell you I have a crazy ex and she's gonna text you, but like, just go along with it. She's crazy. She's not okay in the head. He sent her this when I left the apartment after me and him had a conversation, and he told me this. He said, I know I keep fucking up, but you know I love you so much and we're gonna get through this. 5 minutes later, he sends that text to her, that I'm crazy in the head and please don't listen to her. Please don't listen to her, like me. After he was already caught, like the whole thing, he was still texting her like, hey, don't forget about doing this and that at work. Like, the fucking nerve. Like, bro, y'all don't even understand how fucked up in the head I was during this time. I wanted our relationship to work so bad. I was losing my sanity and my self-respect, and I cut off friends and family, and I clearly did not have enough self-respect or strength to leave a man who was treating me like this. But he kept telling me that everything was going to be okay and he was going to be a better man, until the day came that I literally could not take it anymore, and I fucking left. And I kicked his ass out of my apartment. And I told him to tell his mom to take his ass home. So that's what she did. She flew here and they both left. His mom also said that it was my fault that he cheated on me because I didn't trust him. And she made excuses for him too. So, well, if you listened to 10 minutes of me yapping about my relationship from last year, thank you so much. Okay, here's part 2. No introduction needed. We're going to go straight into it. And if you need to put me as your background noise, go ahead and do so now. Watch my previous video if you need background information. Other than that, if you thought that video was bad, wait till you find out what happened in this video. We broke up last year around this time, and what I'm about to tell you happened in the summer 2024, so 1 year before we actually broke up. We were long distance. He lived in Florida, I lived in Texas, and since it was 2024, by this point we had been together for about 4 years. And it was never really that complicated because we would see each other so frequently. I think we would see each other maybe like every month, every 2 months. So June 2024, me and him were making plans to see each other in August, but he had no idea that I was secretly making plans to go see him the month before for his birthday. My birthday gift to him was me flying over there, and I also bought him a weekend trip on a cruise to the Bahamas for his birthday. And he was actually begging me to come see him for his birthday, but I kept making excuses as to why I couldn't because I didn't want it to spoil the plan. So the morning comes that I'm flying to Florida. He has no idea, and with help of his mom, I was able to go over there without him knowing. His mom picks me up from the airport. She drives me to his job. We go inside. He's so surprised. He's all happy. He's like smiling from ear to ear. He's kissing me, hugging me. Everything went according to plan. He was so happy. He got off of work. We spent time together. Everything was literally perfect. So that night he gets off of work. We're having dinner with his mom, and I tell him, surprise, I got you a weekend trip on a cruise. He was in shock. He was so happy. Like, what could go wrong, right? The weekend comes. We go on this cruise. Long story short, we had a great time. It was our first time ever on a cruise, so we took a ton of pictures together, whatever the case may be. So now this is where it all goes downhill. After we come back from this cruise, we spent his actual birthday with his family, and I was flying back to Texas the next day. And a couple weeks prior to this trip, I had like a gut feeling like just something was wrong. I have no idea why, but I had this urge to look through his phone. And I've never even been the type of person to look through somebody's phone. I just had this urge that something wasn't right. And then I felt like I couldn't even bring it to his attention because our relationship was so perfect. We always got along, we never argued, we communicated with each other so well. And this feeling just came out of nowhere. But I kind of feel like it started off with my dreams that I was having. I had like randomly started getting dreams of him cheating on me or him texting somebody. Like all of that came out of nowhere, but I ended up just brushing the dream to the side because I was like, oh, this is just a stupid ass dream. So the next day comes and I'm flying back to Texas in 2 hours. We're in his room, I'm sitting on the floor packing, and we're just talking about how much of a great time we spent the week that I was there. And then all of a sudden I get this nudge in my chest and like in my mind telling me to remember that gut feeling I had and to tell me to look through his phone. I felt like it was so wrong for me to look through his phone because he never gave me a reason not to trust him, but something in me was telling me to just go through it before I get on my flight. So I'm sitting on the floor next to his bed and he's standing doing whatever he's doing. And I was like, hey, you took a lot of pictures of us at the Bahamas, right? He told me, yeah, I did. And I was like, okay, can I see them on your phone so I can pick whatever pictures I want on your phone and send it to myself? He was like, yeah, of course. And he gives me his phone. So because I was sitting on the floor, the bed is blocking his view, so he can't really like see whatever I'm doing on his phone. When I tell you guys so quickly, I had to like go through every single app. My heart was pounding. Like I went through Snapchat, Facebook Messenger, I went through Instagram DMs, Twitter. I went through every single app on there. Nothing. Like my heart stopped pounding and I was like, you see, like nothing's wrong. I'm like, oh my gosh, like I really let these dreams get to me. Like, oh, I'm so stupid. So after I got done going through his entire phone without him noticing, I then went to the actual photo album so I can pick the pictures that I actually wanted to look at. So I'm like scrolling through our cute little pictures and I scroll a little too high. When I tell you, this was the day that like whatever love I had for him was never going to be the same. I scroll a little high and I see screenshots of a long message. So I'm like, what is this? I click it and it's a long message that he sent to somebody on Instagram. Actually, it was about like 3 or 4 screenshots from him sending a message to somebody on Instagram and him sending a message to somebody on Facebook Messenger. I was literally jumping back and forth from these 4 pictures and it's the same name, so he sent these long messages to the same person. And as I'm reading it, he's saying, you know, I always love you and I just can't stop thinking about you. I'm like skimming through these messages because it almost like I'm not even like comprehending what I'm reading right now. And in these messages, he's talking about, I know you don't want to hear from me, but just know I've always been thinking about you. So I turn the phone to him and like I'm speechless. I can't even say anything. And I'm like, what is this? I kid you not. He looked me in the eyes and like his shoulders almost like drooped down and he was like, I'm so sorry. And I was like, what is this? He tells me I was never meant to see that. And I just keep repeating, what is this? Who is this? I'm like so confused because we've been together for so long. Who is this? He tells me that it's an ex before me. And I was like, what ex before me? We've been together for so long. So we had like a small break like 2 years before this, and we weren't together for like a couple months. Okay, well, he's talking about the girl that he was talking to during the couple months that we weren't together. And I'm just so confused as to why he's telling this girl that he was with for a couple months that he can't stop thinking about her and how much he loves her. What? And then he proceeds to tell me, but she never responded to me. She never texted me back, like as if that made it any better. I'm like bawling my eyes out. Like my heart is shattered into pieces because I just cannot understand how we got along so well. We never argued, and there was another girl. I don't even know like what to say to him, but I just know that like I want to be with you. Like, was this a mistake? He tells me it was a mistake. He didn't mean it, that he just wants to be with me and only me. And I was like, does she know about me? He tells me she doesn't know about me. And I tell him, text her right now and tell her that you've had a girlfriend this whole time. So he does, and then he blocks her and he deletes everything. I forgot to mention, when I was reading through these messages, he had screenshotted those long messages the morning that I showed up to Florida. But he had no idea I was coming. So I don't know how, like, and why he screenshotted these messages that morning, but the messages were sent like a month before. So the month that we were literally planning on seeing each other, he was sending these text messages to this girl. I cannot stop crying. Like, I'm literally in shock, and I have to be on a plane in an hour. We're driving to this plane in silence, and he's like, so are you gonna FaceTime me while you're on the plane? And I just tell him yes, but like I normally would cry every time he would drop me off because, like, you know, I'll miss him, but I couldn't even shed a tear of like me missing him. I was shedding tears on the plane because of like, what kind of betrayal? I forgot to also mention that I asked him if he really does love her, and he told me no, that he just said that, but that he doesn't know why. And he just kept apologizing, kept saying, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. So I get home in Texas. We've been on FaceTime like this whole time, and we're still on FaceTime, and he's like moving on with life already. My whole life goes numb, and I have to go to work the next day at 7 a.m. I did not sleep because of everything that was replaying in my head, and then I drive to work. It's 7 in the morning. I'm the only person in my store, and I'm in the back doing like whatever I gotta do, and I just keep thinking, reach out to this girl. So I go looking, and I look her up on Facebook. I forgot how I even remembered her name. I find her on Facebook, and I message her. I'm not even joking with you guys. Please listen to this. When I pull up the text to Messenger, she had messaged me in February, and this was July that this was happening. I never saw her message because I have my notifications off and I never check my messenger. She messaged me in February, and you know what she said to me? She said, hey, random question, but do you happen to know so-and-so? He lives in Florida, and I just wanted to know if you guys were dating. So I messaged this girl back, and I know it's 7 in the morning, but I'm blowing up her phone because I need answers. She finally responds to me, and I'm like, why did you text me in February? Like, how did you even know about me? She tells me that they were together for a few months, and he like randomly stopped talking to her, and he like completely ghosted her. And I guess she saw that he was liking my pictures or something like that on Instagram, and so she chose to message me. But I never responded. I'm questioning her about everything. I'm like, did you know about me? Like who are you? She told me she had no idea that me and him were together, that they have been texting this whole time for like the past year. That they've been talking for the past year on and off, that he'll come in and be like, oh, I miss you so much, like, I'm just not ready, I feel like I'm not man enough yet, and I'm gonna fix myself, and God is gonna fix me and make me the best man I can be to be with you, but right now is not our time. So because she was so in love with my boyfriend, she waited for him. I'm gonna have to make a part 3 to this. This is already really long. The next video might not be too long, so just go watch the next one if you want to. Okay, so here's part 3, and this might be the last part. It's 7 a.m. I'm at work by myself, and this girl just told me that she's been dating my boyfriend for the past several months. She didn't know about me. I didn't know about her. I'm literally in shock. I don't know what to say, what to do. So I start to call him, and I'm like, you told me that she never responded back to you. He was like, she never did. Those are the only messages I have ever sent her since me and her stopped talking. And I'm like, you're lying to me, because she just sent me a bunch of screenshots from months of you guys talking. He's like, she's lying. How is she lying? She just sent me screenshots. To which he gets mad at me because I'm texting her, and he tells me to stop talking to her because she's trying to ruin our relationship. I hang up on him and I continue my text messages with her. When the saddest thing happened, at the same time that I'm literally trying to grieve over this situation issue, I get a call from my mom, and she just tells me that my cousin passed away. In that moment, like, life did not feel real. It felt like I was in a dream. What do you mean that my perfect relationship of 4 years has been a lie? And what do you mean that this girl's in love with my boyfriend? And what do you mean that my cousin just passed away? It's only 7 in the morning. I'll tell you a little bit about how I had to deal with my cousin's funeral and this whole situation that was happening all at once. But let me tell you about this girl. So as me and her are texting, I'm like asking all of these questions, and I'm being so like direct in my messages. I'm just asking you a question, respond back to me. Like, I'm not really like feeding in the hey girly kind of thing. And then she's like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe this happened. Like, I would have never suspected it, and my cancer is flaring up right now. And I'm literally texting her like, what? She's like, oh my gosh, like I'm so hurt right now. Like, now I gotta go to the hospital. She says you guys are meant to be with each other, and I'll just go die in the hospital. I have stage 4 cancer. Like, I don't know if any of this is true, but this is like so random. Like, why are you telling me this? And I think it's because of how she was wording it, like saying like, okay, I'm just gonna die on my deathbed while you guys live happily ever after. I'm like, what? Or like, what? And then she'll like hit me with, I'm sorry I didn't respond. I passed out on the floor. I'm like so confused. I'm like, oh, he was cheating on me with like an 18-year-old or something? How old is this girl? I finally stopped texting her because I cannot handle this anymore. And then plus, like, I just got told that my cousin passed away. Like, it's a lot going on. I go home and like my family's grieving because of my cousin, and I go to my room after I'm with family for a little bit, and I even told my boyfriend at the time, like, my cousin just passed away. So also while this is happening, I'm sorry, but I also need some answers of like everything that's happening. So I told him that I was talking to the girl, and I'm like asking questions about her. I'm like, how did y'all meet? Like, who is this? He tells me that they met online, that them two are also long distance. So not only did he cheat on me, he was cheating on me with another long distance relationship, except I believe she was living in Florida too, but just not in his city. I don't know, it was so strange. So then I ask him, I'm like, okay, well, how old is she? Because the way she's texting sounds like she's a child. So how old is she? This is 2024, and I'm 24 at the time, and he is 2 years younger than me. So he's 22, and keep this in mind that sometimes it was like really rare that this would happen, but sometimes he would say, sometimes I feel like we have disagreements because of our age difference. I was like, we're not even that far apart in age. Like, you're 22, I'm 24. So when he had made that comment like twice, it made me think maybe he wants to be with somebody his age. So then when I asked him, how old is this girl? I guess I didn't know that you were interested in young girls. This man told me she's 27. She's 27. Now that you know how old she is, let's talk about what occurred, like a couple months after this. Yes, I stayed with him. Okay, judge me. I was madly in love, and he was like my other half. Like, I'm sorry, I can't just easily leave. The next couple months are horrible because of everything that I'm going through, and I have no trust for him whatsoever. He tells me that I need to learn how to move on, that if I keep bringing it up, that I will never move on. But to me, it's like a coping mechanism. Like, I need some comfort. A couple months later, I get LASIK eye surgery. 1 week before my LASIK eye surgery, I had a dream that he was texting her, he was looking her up. I didn't question him. I should have, but I didn't. I went to go have LASIK eye surgery, and then that following week, I had that feeling, and I was like, you know what, Alexia? Guess his passwords. So I guessed his passwords, and I was able to log in. I got onto his Instagram, and in the most recent search bar, it was her. But he told me he blocked her. But he told me that he's not involved with her and doesn't want her. By this point, we had already seen each other again, and we were looking for apartments. Oh my gosh, I sound like an idiot. Like, I don't know why. I don't know, y'all. I'm sorry. So I call him to confront him, and he gets mad at me, and he's like, how about you explain why you decided to log into my Instagram? So now he's mad at me because I guessed his password. And I'm like, you literally looked her up. And you know why? It's because I had a dream. The reason I brought up that I got LASIK eye surgery is because I was on my way to my appointment after LASIK so that they can just check up my eyes, and I saw all this happening and I was literally tearing up. I was like crying. And they tell you, make sure you don't cry a lot because you're gonna dry out your eyes. I cried every single day. I couldn't help myself. And for a whole week, he ignored me and didn't reach out to me and didn't talk to me. I decided to text her, which I don't know why. I decided to text her and I was like, hey, has he reached out to you? To which she responds to me and says, you're so dumb. Like, he's gonna cheat on you again. He's gonna want to be with me. She's like, he's a liar. Yet you're gonna go back to him because you're so stupid. And I'm like so confused because, bitch, you were so nice to me before. And you were so, like, innocent. And now you're laughing in my face. Like, when I tell you she was putting LOLs and skull faces. Like, girl, why are you taunting me? Why are you making fun of me right now? And I literally tell her, I'm like, you don't have to say any of that shit to me, honestly. Like, I'm just asking you a question. All I need is a response. Mind you, in this time, I was so hurt. So I did not have, like, the strength in me to cuss her out like I would right now, you know? And then this bitch sends me a pregnancy test. She sends it to me, and then she deletes it. And then I was like, girl, what are you trying to say? And at this point, I started thinking this girl is just crazy because of what she was saying before. And now, like, I think you're trying to be funny. She was like, just know that he's gonna be a daddy. And I'm like, the fuck are you talking about, bro? I reach out to his mom and I tell her about everything because she's aware of everything that's happening. And she tells me, because I told her, I was like, do you know about this girl? And she tells me no, which I don't know if she's lying about this or not. She tells me she doesn't know about this girl, and she gets really upset that she would say that he's gonna be a daddy or whatever. She's like, I don't even know who this girl is. It sounds like she's really just trying to taunt you. So whatever, for my sake, I ended up blocking her. But yeah, she ended up becoming more issues in our relationship, which is why I ended up leaving his ass. So yeah, it took me a year to realize how much of a loser and a bum he is that I decided to leave. So fucking kill me because I stayed in a relationship and I had hope that it would work out. After this, by the way, this is when she like was taunting me on Instagram and changing her bio to whatever it was for him, and she would put like his name and her username. I don't know. There's so much lore to this relationship. Like, there's so much I went through after this whole thing happened. After that, everything went downhill. There's so much I can tell you guys. I feel like I just been like yapping, but I'm glad to know that you like listening to me talking. This feels like a FaceTime. Y'all let me know if y'all want more story times about this relationship. I'm healed now, so I feel good. I can talk about it without it hurting me. Fuck him, and fuck her, and fuck his mama, fuck all of them.